Finding a decent television for a bedroom, dorm, or a smaller living space usually feels like a compromise between price and quality. Most of the time, you end up with something that feels like a plastic toy or has a picture that looks like it is being viewed through a screen door. This 40-inch model from Insignia is a bit of a surprise, though. It is not trying to be a high-end cinema display, but for what it is, it hits a sweet spot that is hard to ignore. The first thing that strikes you is how straightforward the whole setup is. Since it is built on the Fire TV platform, you are basically getting a streaming stick integrated right into the hardware. You do not have to worry about finding an extra HDMI port for a Roku or a Fire Stick, because the interface is already there. And honestly, it is snappy enough that you won't find yourself tapping your foot waiting for apps to load. The Alexa voice remote is the real star here. Being able to just hold a button and tell the TV to find a specific show or switch over to a game console saves so much time compared to digging through menus. The picture quality is full HD, and at this size, 1080p looks sharp. You are not getting the deep blacks of an expensive OLED, but for casual viewing, it is perfectly crisp. Now here is the thing about the sound. It uses this DTS VirtualX tech, which tries to create a wider soundstage. It is definitely better than the tinny, hollow audio you get on most budget sets, but if you are planning on watching big action movies, you will still want to hook up a soundbar. Luckily, it supports HDMI ARC, so you can just plug one cable in and let your remote handle the volume. It is a small detail, but it makes the whole setup feel much cleaner. One thing to keep in mind is that it only has 2 HDMI ports. If you have a gaming console, a cable box, and maybe a Blu-ray player, you are going to be swapping cables around, which is a bit of a pain. It would have been nice to see a third port, but at this price point, they had to cut somewhere. The parental controls are surprisingly robust, too. If you have kids, you can lock down specific channels or ratings with a pin, which is a nice touch for a family-oriented screen. It is also worth mentioning that the packaging is sustainably sourced, which is a nice nod to the environment. It is not the flashiest piece of tech on the market, but it is reliable, easy to use, and gets the job done without any unnecessary fuss. If you need a solid, no-nonsense screen that just works, this is a pretty smart pick.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.